Is America's favorite couple too good to be true? Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, two of the biggest names in sports and music, captured the world's attention by giving us a love story that feels straight out of a movie. Their relationship has been front-page news, dominating headlines, paparazzi snaps, and even NFL broadcasts. And now with their engagement making waves, the internet is asking the ultimate question: is this America's favorite fairy tale romance, or is it all for show? In today's video, we're diving into the love story that has the internet buzzing, looking at both sides of the conversation. While millions are celebrating this fairy tale match, there's also a huge part of the internet that believes this relationship is just another stage for Taylor Swift, and we are the audience. When two worlds as massive as the NFL and pop music collide, the spotlight is impossible to ignore. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift's whirlwind romance has been everywhere, headline after headline, viral clips, and non-stop speculation. And now with their engagement grabbing them even more attention, the big question online is whether this love story is truly authentic, or if America's favorite couple is just putting on a show. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Scandalous Media. It's Alana here, and today we're serving up both sides of the story, digging into why some people believe this relationship is all for show, and why others are convinced Travis really is the perfect match for Taylor. In this video, we're breaking it all down, the highlights, the theories, and the drama in between. And just to be clear, everything we're discussing is based on public opinions and speculation. Everyone is entitled to their own perspective and view. Nobody is saying this is set in stone, this is just the why behind the reasoning. Before we get started, be sure to hit that like and subscribe for more, follow us on our social media, and share your honest opinions down below. Is this the real deal, or is it all for show? Stay tuned for the end to hear my own opinion. Taylor's whole career proves to be the power of a good storyline, and that's exactly what drew me into Pocket FM. It gives you that same feeling of stepping into a world you can't stop exploring. Just like Taylor's fans spend hours decoding her world, a Pocket FM lets you dive into serialized audio series across genres from drama to thrillers that pull you in and keep you coming back episode after episode. I actually first stumbled across it on TikTok because the stories were so crazy I had to keep listening. So when I got the chance to work with them, I thought, okay, perfect, because it really does fit right in with me getting back into reading and listening to audio series lately. It's like the easiest escape. The first show that got me was The Duke's Masked Bride. Right off the bat, the drama had me. It has that same swoony, high-stakes vibe as Bridgerton. The very first episode starts with a contract marriage, which, if you know me, is totally my guilty pleasure. It keeps you guessing whether the relationship is real, strategic, or somewhere in between, a storyline we've seen play out in Hollywood plenty of times. Honestly, it even makes you think about all the speculation around Taylor and Travis and how carefully crafted every detail is. It's layered, dramatic, and completely binge-worthy. What I love is how easy it is to fit these shows into my day. I'll have one on while I'm cleaning, cooking, or even folding laundry, and before I know it, these boring tasks actually fly by. It's dangerously easy to be like, one more episode, and suddenly it's midnight and I'm deep into episode 15. Pocket FM has become such a fun part of my routine alongside all the reading and audiobooks I've been getting into this year. The stories are immersive, the characters feel real, and there's an endless variety. Mystery, romance, fantasy, you name it. Plus, the app is super simple to use, so diving in is easy no matter what you're doing. If you haven't tried it yet, trust me, download Pocket FM using my link down below, start with The Duke's Masked Bride, and you'll see what I mean. And now, let's talk about a different upcoming bride and her football player. The engagement. Taylor and Travis officially announced their engagement on August 26, 2025, sharing a series of enchanting photos, one of which captured Travis down on one knee in a garden alongside the playful caption, "Your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married." Seems like a fairy tale come true, but it was actually the announcement of their engagement that had even more people questioning if this relationship is fake. A few weeks before the engagement, Taylor sat down with Travis and his brother Jason to give a rare 2-hour interview on the Brothers New Heights podcast. Taylor did two things she's never done before. One, give a man the chance to share the spotlight with her as she announces her latest album, The Life of a Showgirl, on the podcast. And two, she gave us a real glimpse into how she acts with a romantic partner outside of the usual choreographed walks through New York City with a dozen photographers in tow. That's how I knew this relationship was different. That and the fact that Scandalous Media sources have already told me and my readers that these two have been engaged since October of 2024. It wouldn't be a Taylor Swift conversation if we weren't unpacking something that looks spontaneous but was actually mapped out long before. Very on brand for her. The Scandalous Media source said that due to public speculation and pressure of whether Travis and Taylor are engaged, Taylor made sure that she would do things on her own terms, which is why it's a possibility that the engagement happened in October and was announced at a certain time. That certain time is why people are suspicious. Taylor really threw everyone for a loop with the Life of the Showgirl announcement because suddenly the conversation was all about her being back in the spotlight, and whether this was actually the scrapped post-Lover album, aka the rumored Karma. So yeah, no one was really thinking about her engagement anymore, and that's exactly what she wanted. We also have other reasons to believe that the engagement wasn't actually in August, because when she was teasing a new era of whatever on Facebook, she had posted a new Taylor Swift logo in the shape of her wedding ring back in May. Fans realized the new logo was an Easter egg in the shape of her ring.
She told us back in May. The new logo was an Easter egg. It was her ring. So you agree she makes Easter eggs about her personal life, even though she said on the show, the podcast, I don't make Easter eggs about my personal life.
So not only do we have Scandalous Media sources saying it happened in October 2024, but now we have Taylor teasing it in May 2025. The announcement then comes August 2025, with Travis's father saying it happened 2 weeks before it was announced.
It was kind of funny. About a week ago, I asked Travis, I said, so when are you going to announce the engagement? He said, whenever Taylor says so.
And on top of that, the engagement post is right smack in the middle of all the album covers. It's done that way because in the off chance that you were on social media and you didn't know Taylor and Travis are engaged and you're trying to look at photos, you can't help but suddenly be smothered by 12 different album covers that will get you excited enough to listen to the album, possibly trying to uncover Easter eggs about their relationship. Let's do a suspicious counter for this video. So far, this is suspicion number 1. The timeline is very business-oriented, and it's very strategic. It doesn't feel authentic if you really take a closer look. Taylor using the shape of her ring as her new logo feels like she's saying, look, this is my new brand. If the relationship is so true and dear to you, why announce something as huge as an engagement at the same time you are dropping a highly anticipated new concept album? Not only that, but why announce an engagement at the start of your new era and at the start of the new NFL season, all in the same time frame, unless this was all one big articulated attention grab? The announcement of these things alongside the promotion of the New Heights podcast is what had people thinking there for a minute.
Now let's talk about the PR and why it's so blatantly true that this is all fake, none of it is real, this has been planned for years, and how I guess 100% sure that the actual podcast ends and then the GQ magazine gets released with Travis. Okay, first hint at PR. All this stuff is happening simultaneously. She's doing all the countdowns for the vinyl variants. Controversy arises. People are losing their mind. I made a video on that. I was so pissed. Then, boom, engagement. They're both wearing Ralph Lauren and everyone's talking about it. Everyone's talking about it is becoming a campaign immediately.
All this Travis, Kelce, and Taylor Swift stuff has gotten a lot of people talking. Is it a PR stunt? Are they just selling the dream to you guys?
Yeah, 100%.
Because that's the dream, is that they're real and they're not having issues and all that type of stuff.
People then started questioning why Taylor decided to announce her new album on a podcast that is primarily watched by men who are sports fans. Someone made a great point on TikTok saying that Taylor is trying to gain a wider audience that is dominated by a male point of view, and the only way to show these sports guys that Taylor is cool and one of the bros, so please stop booing her at the Super Bowl, was to announce this trad wife sex appeal of an album that is so not Taylor.
Taylor even says in this clip that New Heights released earlier today, she's like, I know a lot of sports men watch your show, and the number one thing that sports men want to see more of is me. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's using her brand and Travis's brand to shove her message in the face of people who would never ever engage with her content willingly. Taylor getting involved with Travis and involving herself in the NFL brought a ton of fans of men to Taylor. Because she continues to do things like this, she's literally forcing exposure to herself.
It's no coincidence that this album concept aligns with her high-profile relationship with Travis and the whole NFL energy. Think halftime shows, glittering costumes, and women on stage owning the spotlight. That way, once Taylor gets an even small nod of approval from the sports fans, she can truly dominate every audience. Suspicion number 2. Speaking of things that are so not Taylor, the way this relationship is being formulated is bringing us to suspicion number 3. This relationship is different. Taylor has always been someone who dangled a relationship in front of our eyes and made us play guessing games over which song is for whom. This notorious pattern of hers has garnered her the title of PR relationship queen, and we, as the authors of Scandalous Media, have never not called out Taylor and her many publicized relationships. With that being said, Taylor has always set a boundary between herself and the guy she is with when it comes to her narrative and career. She's never allowed the two to mix, and she most definitely has never allowed a significant other this much access to her most prized possession, her thriving career. So when Travis came on stage with Taylor to help her perform in an outfit that now looks like a nod to the future Showgirl aesthetic, fans and critics went crazy with theories that this is the most fake relationship ever. Then on September 4th, a viral contract alleging that Taylor and Travis are just a PR stunt that will break up on September 28th leaked. This claim both shocked Taylor and Travis and gained attention from mainstream media. To do a little bit of media control damage, Taylor and Travis were seen looking all coupled up at the US Open on September 8th, 2024. The VMAs followed on September 11th, where Taylor did a rare thing, and that was thanking a significant other in her winning speech, saying,
"And something that I'll always remember is that when I would finish a take and I'd say cut, and we'd be done with that take, I would always just hear like someone like cheering and like woo, like from across. That one person was my boyfriend Travis."
So it's safe to say that they combated the speculation head on. Then came the Grammys, where Taylor took on a more sexy approach by wearing a thigh chain with a T on it. These were all things she's never done before in previous relationships. She was with Joe Alwyn for 900 years, and I've never even heard her say his name out loud. Before Joe, almost every public relationship of Taylor's lasted 1 year before the breakup, which is the unofficial timestamp for a PR contract run. With that type of criticism, Taylor made sure she was going to have a relationship that was the complete opposite. So she grew Joe in her backyard, picked him out because of his character traits that she liked. He was smart, sensitive, well-educated, a talented actor, and quiet. Finally, some peace and quiet in the showgirl's life. There's maximum 8 photos of these two together spanning their whole 6-year relationship? If you want more tea on these two, check out the blog post we have written about them, and check out the video we've done about them as well. Going from Joe to Travis, the difference in Taylor's personal and professional life is as harsh as biting into a raw onion. The fact that Travis is on stage with Taylor and they're sitting down for a rare interview, and not just any interview but on his own podcast, she's shouting him out mid-speech and rocking bold, sexy jewelry with his initial on it, it just wasn't subtle. It was loud, especially loud for a girl who refers to herself as a mastermind and one who has put Easter eggs for you all to follow along with for more than a decade. The fact that she thinks of things years in advance or uses them to her own benefit is why there's a huge part of the Taylor fandom that thinks this is all a lie. Is it all orchestrated? Taylor has always put on a show, and she has always used everything she can to her benefit, which we will get more into that later on in the video when I tell you my opinion. Easter egg lovers have noticed similarities between Taylor's personal life and her professional life. It's why many fans were annoyed when Taylor said on the New Heights podcast that she doesn't ever use Easter eggs about her real life, they're only used for the music and the art.
The art of the Easter egg is that there's do's and don'ts, right? Like, I'm never going to plant an Easter egg that ties back to my personal life.
When I heard that on the podcast, even as someone who doesn't have all of Taylor's Easter eggs and dates memorized, I couldn't help but think that someone who has made their entire life a career theme would have left Easter eggs for everything. Then I saw fans online claiming that Easter eggs of her personal life are very much easy to find, and they don't know why she made a lie as bold as that one.
I don't make Easter eggs about my personal life. So you agree she's a liar?
In the Bejeweled music video, there is an arch of flowers that looks very similar to the arch she and Travis are under for the engagement shoot. Also in the Bejeweled music video, Taylor is in the showgirl costume more than ever and putting on a performance. The queen is impressed by her, and later on a prince is forced to propose to Taylor under a flower arch. She accepts, ghosts him, and then keeps the castle. Some of Taylor's fans believe she is playing the Bejeweled music video right in front of her eyes, with the not-so-subtle touch of the showgirl aesthetic and ironically the proposal.
We are doing the Bejeweled music video. And right after this scene, she ghosts the prince and keeps the castle.
The Bejeweled music video is over 2 years old. So does this mean Taylor thought 2 years ahead, or 5 years ahead, or something? Not sure, but their proposal is surrounded by brands, leading us to suspicious counter number 4. Right after the news of their engagement, Travis released a clothing line with American Eagle and True Colors. Travis was also on the cover of a bunch of magazines that he wasn't getting before this relationship. Taylor also released the Tiny Bubbles and Champagne edition the day before announcing the engagement.
Announcing your engagement in the middle of a rollout of an album called The Life of a Showgirl is insane behavior. If you're not doing performance art, I'm so sorry.
Taylor Nation then posts a reminder to fans saying, taking a break from screaming about the engagement to remind you to pre-add Taylor Swift The Life of a Showgirl. Taylor and Travis announced the engagement 1 week before his last NFL season and about 38 days before The Life of a Showgirl drops. It's also worth mentioning that Taylor really lives out her album concepts. When she went quiet and kept the low profile, she gave us Folklore and Evermore. Of course, it was during the COVID era, but that understated approach perfectly matched the aesthetic of who she was at that moment. Now that she's all about flash and glamour, her entire life seems to be flashy and glamorous. Joe Alwyn would not have fit into this concept album, but somebody like Travis fits like a glove. This doesn't mean Taylor's relationship with Joe is horrid or bad, but it's just different to the one she has with Travis. In the Anti-Hero music video, there are a lot of Easter eggs between Taylor the showgirl and Taylor the person. In this clip in Anti-Hero, we see two Taylors sitting on a roof. One is the showgirl who's messy and drinking, and the other one is sitting next to her in a more relaxed position. In this part of the music video, both Taylor's versions realize they need each other to exist after all, because the entire Anti-Hero music video and song is about Taylor battling with herself. It's why she says, and the showgirl is different from Taylor, but they have a lot of similarities, showing us that at the end, Taylor is still Taylor, even with all her flaws. While Taylor is playing the guitar, the showgirl is smashing it. The showgirl, which is basically Taylor's alter ego, follows her around and criticizes her. In this clip, when they're taking shots, the showgirl is doing twice as many shots than regular Taylor. Then, after Taylor allows herself to be influenced by the showgirl, who was both a protector and threat to Taylor, she starts to act just like her, taking in just as many shots. The reason why this music video is so important to the Travis and Taylor conversation is because the showgirl in Anti-Hero is in the same colors for this new album's aesthetic, the orange and green. And the message couldn't be any louder, which screams, I'm torn between being the writer or the perfect entertainer for you. People believe the showgirl is the one who's dating Travis, not the poet.
Oh my god, what a coincidence that the weekend that the Eras Tour movie comes out, we get paparazzi photos of them just holding hands.
Taylor and Travis started dating at the same time that Taylor and Matty Healy broke up. Taylor and Travis' story began in July 2023 when Travis attended Taylor's Eras Tour stop at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, where he even attempted to hand her a friendship bracelet with his number on it. Though the gesture didn't reach her at first, Travis later openly discussed it on his podcast New Heights and said that he couldn't give Taylor his number because she didn't want to meet him due to vocal rest, and those comments caught Taylor's attention.
I was disappointed that she doesn't talk before or after her shows because she has to save her voice for the 44 songs that she sings. So I was a little butthurt I didn't get to hand her one of the bracelets I made for her.
Mutual friends, including Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes and coach Andy Reid, helped bridge the gap, and not long afterward, they began dating privately, with their relationship confirmed publicly in September 2023 when Taylor showed up at a Chiefs game. While they were teasing the fans, Taylor wore a necklace with Travis's birthstone, and Travis wore a friendship bracelet. Travis was consistently mentioning Taylor on the podcast with his brother and boasting about how amazing she looked and how her presence was really ballsy.
Shout out to Taylor for pulling up. That was pretty ballsy. Yeah.
Their first public date took place on October 14, 2023, and then from then on, they were together everywhere. Travis is the one who mainly speaks about the relationship, which raised some eyebrows because it seemed as if he was striving for attention more than anything else. In the past, when Taylor dated other famous men, whether they were singers or actors, nobody talked about the other as much as Travis was talking about Taylor.
You know, it comes with it. You got a lot of people that care about Taylor, and for good reason.
Taylor's very fond of performing in Australia because of the crowds over there and how into it they get.
He told us everything from when he was interested in her to who helped set them up and where the date took place, how he feels about her being a performer, his Eras Tour thoughts, all the way down to how he shed a few tears when proposing to Taylor.
The palms were definitely sweating.
Really?
I was definitely, I'm an emotional guy, so there were a few tears here and there, but it's been an exciting ride up to this date, and I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with her.
I'm gonna take you guys back. Before this fairy tale TNT relationship, Taylor was seeing Matty Healy. I know, jump scare. Apparently, Taylor and Matty were in this ongoing situationship that spanned the course of 10 years. When Taylor went straight to Matty after her relationship ended with Joe Alwyn, people started asking why she chose Matty out of all people to reconcile with. That's when the digging came in and the general public realized that Taylor and Matty had been addressing each other in songs for a whole decade straight. Then people started remembering how Taylor had a little fixation with Matty's band, the 1975, back in 2014. Taylor and Matty met backstage at one of his concerts in November 2014. November 22, 2014, Taylor is photographed wearing a black plaid skirt and the 1975 tank top. By December 2014, it was confirmed to the media that both of them were secretly dating. By January 2015, Matty confronts the rumors that they were secretly dating for 2 months and says, "It is bloody fake, it's all a farce," calling the rumors ridiculous. Then he started rambling about how there was no relationship or anything like that, and how it would have been great if there had been one, but there wasn't. He sounds unhinged, and the more he denies how ridiculous the rumors were, the more true they seemed. He also called dating her emasculating back in 2016, and somehow this didn't turn Taylor off as they were constantly being mentioned together for years. And then we got the Matty and Taylor 2023 relationship. This relationship was not well liked. Matty is extremely problematic, and we made an entire video going into depth about all the horrible stuff he has said and done throughout the years. He basically has made it his goal to offend everyone he can. He's made comments about race and stereotypes, he's laughed alongside offensive and racist jokes, and his onstage behavior of kissing fans and bandmates, eating raw meat, and making political comments turned everyone off. Matty criticized the Malaysian government's anti-LGBTQ laws and kissed his bassist on stage. While some praised the gesture, it resulted in the festival being shut down and the band being banned from performing in the country, which also affected local fans and artists. So you can imagine the shock when Taylor pulls up with him. Taylor was saying "I love you" to him across the stage, he showed up at her shows, she took the stage with the 1975, they were spotted on a few public dates, constant media attention about them kissing, and Taylor released an entire album in April 2024, The Tortured Poets Department, mainly about him. Basically telling everyone she loves him, screw you for telling her no, she can smear her own name as she pleases, and everything in between. An entire album, no, not for the man she dated for 6 years, but rather the weirdo she was with for a few months. That made the situationship even louder. A lot of people were turning on Taylor, and a huge portion of her massive fandom was very grossed out by him, and then they started to ask themselves, if Taylor is okay with hanging out with someone like that, then what does that say about her? So they were forced to break up. It wasn't a good look on Taylor, and she knew that. By June 2023, TMZ announced they had broken up. By July 2023, Taylor starts to date Travis, but they don't make anything public yet. Who was a better option than Matty? Travis Kelce. When Travis started talking about Taylor on his podcast, it garnered them some attention. I believe Taylor realized this was a good way to get everyone to forget about the mess of Matty, and she started hanging out with Travis. Travis fit the Miss Americana lifestyle of Taylor's, and it fit the narrative and image that fans already have of Taylor, the one where the pretty blonde gets with the funny football player. Even the caption for their engagement photo tugs on that high school fantasy that fans have when seeing Travis and Taylor together. And now, because of the hype of Travis and Taylor's relationship, everyone has forgotten about Matty and the decade-long situationship. Taylor is also no longer getting viral hate tweets criticizing her for being okay with Matty's behavior. Fairy tale complete. The prince and princess are together, and the monster's destroyed. So with that being said, is this relationship all for show? No, and I'll tell you why I think that. Why Travis is actually a good fit for Taylor. Since the day I started this blog, going after Taylor's fake relationships has always been a favorite segment of mine, so you're probably wondering why I'm folding for this one. If you guys want, we can do a deep dive into all of Taylor's relationships, the ones that were painfully fake and the ones that were real. Let us know down below. So you probably think with everything I just listed, how could they not be fake? Well, once you realize that no matter how real or fake something is in Taylor's life, it all contributes to Taylor the brand. Everything is Taylor the brand, aka the showgirl. I mean, think about it. This one person is so highly publicized, and yet nothing about her personal life is ever truly revealed.
Because I don't talk about my personal life, so they've kind of had to make one up for me.
She's one of the most talked about celebrities, and somehow it still feels like we don't really know her at all. The closest thing to knowing her emotions and thoughts are through her lyrics, and unless we take a Harvard course on digesting her lyrics, we still wouldn't know everything about them. We could project that this lyric is about this person, and only Taylor will know if that's true or not. That's because Taylor has done such a good job of making you think you know her and her feelings, while hiding a huge chunk of her real life. With that being said, I don't know if Taylor and Travis started off as a business venture. It could have been what was on her mind when trying to get people to forget about Matty. But you have to understand, the relationship Taylor has now with Travis is one that she's always wanted deep down. Deep down, and being ready to have a mature relationship in your 30s, this is the kind of guy Taylor could see herself with. Taylor said on the podcast that her relationship with Travis is the type of romance she's wished she could have all those years ago. That this was the type of love she's been writing about since being a teenager. She wants a fairy tale. This is the same person who arrived at the VMAs in a pumpkin carriage.
This is sort of what I've been writing songs about wanting to happen to me since I was a teenager.
If you think about the type of songs and concepts that Taylor released when she was young, it all centered around a high school feeling. Think You Belong With Me and how the entire thing is about the cute football player choosing Taylor in the end rather than the mean cheerleader. Deep down, Taylor is obsessed with the idea of being chosen and being chased. A lot of men can't handle a lot of things about Taylor. She might be too sensitive for men. Cue in all the "don't date Taylor, she'll write a song about you" jokes.
I guess in the last couple of years, the story has been that I'm like a serial dater, and I like have all these boyfriends, and we're traveling around the world, and everything's great until I get over emotional and crazy and obsessive, and then they leave, and I'm devastated, and then I write songs to get emotional revenge.
She might even be too tall for certain men, addressing it in songs saying, "Sometimes I feel like everybody's a sexy baby, and I'm a monster on the hill, too big to hang out." She might not be cool enough for certain people. Not cool enough, not hot enough, not talented enough, and overrated. These are the criticisms, besides the ones rightfully calling her greedy, that Taylor is always trying to get over.
Why is that? Why sing to the haters?
Well, when they stop coming for me, I will stop singing to them.
Travis, on the other hand, is very charismatic and bold. He has the confidence of someone who is in the NFL and acts like it. Taylor is confident and bold, so it only makes sense that they match each other's energy. Travis is smooth, telling Taylor when they first started dating, "I've seen you rock the stage at Arrowhead, you might have to come see me rock the stage at Arrowhead and see which one's a little more lit." While Taylor is constantly second-guessing herself, Travis is praising her and calling her the athlete, saying that what she does to her body to train to be able to perform on stage for 3 hours is a sport. Travis also makes Taylor feel like a genius, giving her the credit that she's always wanted from a partner. The other guys Taylor has dated have probably always looked at what she did with her career as impressive, but not something impossible because they were also singers doing the same thing. When you date someone who's doing the same thing as you, especially in Hollywood, you might run into egos clashing when they'll think that what you're doing is the same thing they're doing, so it's not that impressive. So when a football player is looking at Taylor's shows and saying that the cheers are louder than anything he's ever heard before, that sits well with Taylor. Travis's easygoing and goofy personality complements Taylor's sharp, sophisticated charm in a way that feels both balanced and endearing. While Taylor is known for her way with words and quick wit, Travis often leans into humor and self-deprecation, causing a natural dynamic between them. On his podcast, for example, he joked about how Taylor knows all these big words that he can't even pronounce, a moment that highlighted both his playful humility and her intellectual flair.
Yeah, I'd never just been so engulfed in the curiosity of who you were.
Oh, that's
And look
really
at this.
wonderful.
One of the best things about that last statement is you didn't even know what the word engulf meant before, like you met Taylor. Like this is, you've broadened your horizon so much.
We're the perfect. I'm telling you, she makes me so much better.
Together, their contrasting styles make them feel more genuine, proof that opposites really can attract. So when some people were arguing that Taylor was mothering Travis on the podcast by looking at their dynamic and how they're sitting and how she's looking at him, I get that, but all I see is Taylor in her feminine energy with Travis right now, rather than taking on a more dominant approach the way we are used to seeing her. She's in her soft girl era, which I guess to some people, if misunderstood, can look like, why is she laughing at jokes only 12-year-olds make? Travis's personality matches Taylor pretty well if you think about it, since he's like a golden retriever and Taylor is a black cat. It's why after giving these overly sensitive singers and actors a chance, it probably feels refreshing to date someone who is more humorous and doesn't take anything that serious. Travis describes Taylor as incredibly smart, mind-blowing, and says she's the one who brought excitement and joy to him. In an interview, Travis points out that their relationship happened very organically, regardless of how the media tracked it. He said, "It happened very organically, even though from a media standpoint it was being tracked. It still happened very organically. Nothing I've ever done has been a controlled, organized process. When I say it was so organic, we fell in love just based on the people we were sitting in a room together with." Overall, while this relationship may seem like it's just for show, from a business standpoint, it's clear that both Travis and Taylor are savvy enough to recognize the value of capitalizing on their relationship while they're still at their peak. Taylor finally found someone who wants to take over the world with her, and while some of you are screaming, "Oh my god, this is a PR," you have to realize this is the same person who releases variants of the same album 1,200 times. She's just happy Travis is on board with all this good PR they're getting. Taylor's also excited that she's the one that gets to show Travis how her life has been for the past 2 decades. He has no media training, and the level of fame outside of sports has hit him like a ton of bricks. It's like a kid in a candy store. And believe it or not, I think Taylor likes to know that she's the one showing the cool football player a whole new world, while his world to her, although interesting, isn't anything she's not used to already. It also seems like the whole family can't stop talking to the media, with Travis's dad saying when they got engaged, and now Travis's mom telling the media she's putting pressure on her son to have babies with Taylor. It seems as if the Kelce family enjoys talking to the media more than they should, and I wonder if it bothers Taylor or if she enjoys the side plots they keep adding onto their relationship.
I don't know how much I'm supposed to say, but I don't care. His mother and I went with him back to his house for dinner where Taylor made dinner, and we had a wonderful dinner with them outside on a patio.
Maybe Taylor isn't as worried or annoyed with the media interception because Travis's personality has rubbed off on her. It seems as if his energetic energy complements Taylor's rigid personality. He probably helps her realize it's okay to let go a bit. If you think about it, Taylor has never been spotted this many times kissing her boyfriend at a club, or even making funny TikToks like taking her parents to the Super Bowl after party. And while Taylor uses everything to her benefit, including using her relationship to steamroll promo for her album, I could see why that's not a factor when it comes to this relationship still being genuine to her after all. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let us know your thoughts down below. How do you feel about Taylor and Travis's relationship? When do you think the wedding will take place, if it even does take place? Let us know your thoughts and make sure to follow us on our social media. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.